Joining us now is Hailey McQueen. I've described her as an actor, drama teacher, director of stage, and adapting this C.S. Lewis classic, the Screwtape Letters. Welcome, Hailey.
Thank you. Thanks.
Before we talk about the Screwtape Letters stage play, tell us something about yourself, how long you've been involved in stage and all of that.
Yeah, well, many, many years now. So I graduated about 16 years ago from doing a drama degree in acting. And I've just been plodding away, I guess, at the acting industry for that long. I've been involved in some wonderful productions over the years, mainly in the area of theatre, but that's where I feel most comfortable and you get that lovely immediate feedback from the audience. But I've done a little bit of film and telly as well. You
know, even people who've performed at a high level on the box at the corner of the room still like to go back on the stage. I know London West End is like that. You say, gosh, why are these people here on stage? And they say, because that's where they want to do it, really. Yeah. Tell us, you now work as a drama teacher, don't you?
Yeah. I've been working at Excelsior College for the last 9 years, teaching theatre history and drama pedagogy. And that's been wonderful, just getting alongside the students.
Drama pedagogy?
Yeah.
What's that?
So pedagogy means to teach. So
it's the way in which it's communicated.
Exactly. So how can we use drama to teach? All the ways in which it can create change and educate. Yeah, it's exciting.
Now, why the Screwtape Letters? I mean, I almost know the answer to that when I ask the question, but why? Why?
Well, I read it when I was in my early 20s, and some of the profound insights just stuck with me over the years. And I think the character of Screwtape is one of the greatest literary characters of the 20th century. And the subject matter, this idea that the choices we make have a direct impact on the life we lead, and that perhaps there is a spiritual realm, powers, principalities at work moving us towards particular choices. And I loved those two things. So the character and the subject matter, I thought, just lended itself beautifully to being...
And Lewis takes the thought of temptation and being pulled in a very serious way, doesn't he?
He does. And this idea that there are things happening in the unseen.
Yes.
And I think that's really interesting.
What's involved in adapting a book?
Lots of drafts, but firstly we had to work really closely, or I had to work closely with the Lewis Foundation to firstly get permission to do it and then to have the adaptation approved for performance, which was a great process. I think balancing the heavy, dense, rich language of that Lewis uses with character-driven action for the stage, that was a real kind of area that I had to pay a lot of attention to so that we didn't kind of lose the audience in all the density. But
it's important to get the cast right, isn't it? You know, I often see when credits come up and they say the cast director, you think, oh, what kind of job is that? But it's very, very important.
And particularly in this, when it's a new work, that you have to have actors that can create something from scratch. There's no reference point. And also the audience will come with a sense of who Screwtape should be. So
one of your actors, Yannick Laurie, who is playing Screwtape, is with us today, and he'll give us a sneak peek of the play. Let's see a scene. Tell us the story leading up to where Yannick performs.
So the letters are a series of conversations between his nephew, a junior tempter, and Screwtape, who's a senior demon, and he guides Wormwood as to the best ways to tempt the assigned human. And so this letter is in response to the human having just kind of become a Christian, and it's him tempting him through prayer, the area of prayer.
My dear Wormwood, the amateurish suggestions in your last letter warn me that it is high time that I should write to you fully on the painful subject of prayer. You might have spared the comment that my advice about his prayers for his mother proved singularly unfortunate. That is not the sort of thing that a nephew should write to his uncle, nor a junior tempter to the under-secretary of a department. You must learn to pay for your own blunders. The best thing, where it is possible, is to keep the patient from the serious intention of praying altogether. When the patient is an adult recently reconverted to the enemy's party, like your man, this is best done by creating in himself a vaguely devotional mood in which any real concentration of will and intelligence play no part. It is funny how mortals always picture us as putting things into their minds. In reality, our best work is done by keeping things out. But of course, the enemy will not meantime be idle. Wherever there is prayer, there is the danger of his own immediate action. But if he defeats your first attempt at misdirection, we have a subtler weapon. The humans do not start from that direct perception of him which we unhappily cannot avoid. They have never known that ghastly luminosity, that stabbing and searing glare which makes the background of permanent pain to our lives. If you look into your patient's mind when he is praying, you will not find that. There will be images derived from pictures of the enemy. I have known cases where what the patient called his God was actually located up and to the left in the corner of his bedroom ceiling, or inside his own head, or in a crucifix on the wall. But whatever the nature of the composite object, you must keep him praying to it, to the thing that he has made, not to the person who has made him. If he ever directs his prayers, not to what I think thou art, but to what thou knowest thyself to be, our situation is at that moment desperate. Once all his thoughts and images have been flung aside and the man trusts himself to the completely real, external, invisible presence there with him in the room and never knowable by him as he is known by it, why, it is then that the incalculable may occur. In avoiding this situation, the real nakedness of the soul in prayer, you will be helped by the fact that the humans themselves do not desire it as much as they suppose. There's such a thing as getting more than they bargained for. Your affectionate uncle, Screwtape.
He frightens me, you know. You're touring the show at the present time.
Yes.
Along the East Coast. Whereabouts and how can people find out?
So we just opened in Sydney. We move on to Melbourne and then Canberra. And they can find out all the details on our website, www.screwtapeshow.com.au.
And can they get tickets that way?
Yes, absolutely, through that website.
Well, that's super. I hope the show is a great success. We look forward to hearing more about your career and how it develops. And you've got a little one at home who's going to soon be walking.
Yes.
Gosh, that's as big a job as you'll do anywhere once that happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope the show is a great success and that we see many more adaptations. Have you other classic Christian things that you've got in mind that you might have to go at?
No, not yet. We're not sure. We might do another season of Screwtape in some other states.
Yeah,
yeah,
super. And thank you ever so much for not only coming and talking about it, but giving us a taste, as it were. I think that taste was enough to make us want to think, you know, gosh. And we all sense, in a real spiritual sense, this is not just a performance, it's a real spiritual issue, isn't it?
Absolutely.
How we are kept away. And as Lewis and other people have contended, best thing the devil ever did was make us laugh at him.
Right.
And consider him unimportant and insignificant.
Fantastic.
God bless you. And thank you very much indeed.